What if a seemingly perfect family reunion turned into a nightmare? A wife's discovery of her husband's secret affair with his high school crush transforms a joyful gathering into a night of betrayal, heartbreak, and shocking revelations. This true crime story from Vienna, Austria, will keep you on the edge of your seat as the devastating consequences unfold. Amelia Richter, a 38-year-old woman, a devoted spouse, well respected by her family and community in Vienna, Austria. She believed her marriage was strong and built on trust until she discovered a devastating secret that shattered her world. Maximilian Richter, a 40-year-old man, the seemingly devoted husband who has mastered the art of deception. On the surface, he presents himself as the picture of loyalty, but beneath this facade lies a dark secret, an affair with someone from his past that threatens to shatter the life he has built with his wife, Amelia. Clara Weiss, a 39-year-old woman, the husband's old flame who has come back into his life, secretly rekindling their relationship. Her return stirs up old feelings and leads to a web of lies that could destroy everything. The Richter family appeared to be the epitome of a happy family. Amelia and Maximilian had been married for over a decade and were known in their community as a devoted couple. Friends and relatives often praised their strong bond and commitment to each other, viewing them as role models for a successful marriage. Their family included 2 children, both of whom were adored by their parents and relatives. The children often brought joy and laughter to family gatherings, further solidifying the image of a perfect family. Amelia was seen as a nurturing mother, always putting her family first, while Maximilian was viewed as a hard-working and caring father. However, beneath this facade of happiness, there were underlying tensions that no one could see. Family members noticed the occasional disagreements between Amelia and Maximilian, but chalked it up to the normal ups and downs of marriage. As the reunion approached, excitement filled the air, with everyone looking forward to celebrating their close-knit family bond, unaware that this joyful occasion would soon reveal a shocking truth that would change everything. To everyone around them, Amelia and Maximilian Richter seemed like the perfect couple. They shared a beautiful home in Vienna and were often seen attending community events together, hand in hand. Friends admired their deep connection and often remarked on how well they complemented each other. Amelia's warm and nurturing nature balanced by Maximilian's charming and outgoing personality. Their social media showcased family outings, vacations, and milestones, painting a picture of happiness and stability. Neighbors frequently praised them as ideal parents, noting how they actively engaged in their children's lives, from school events to weekend activities. Yet, beneath this polished exterior lay a web of deceit. Amelia had no idea that Maximilian had been rekindling an old flame, and he skillfully masked his infidelity with carefully crafted excuses and late nights at work. While they presented a united front to the world, the cracks in their relationship were deepening, setting the stage for a devastating revelation that would shatter their seemingly perfect lives. The family reunion took place in a spacious hall in Vienna, Austria, filled with the laughter and chatter of relatives reconnecting after years apart. Colorful decorations adorned the venue, and the aroma of delicious traditional dishes wafted through the air, creating an atmosphere of celebration and togetherness. Children ran around playing games, while adults shared stories, reminiscing about fond memories and the bonds that tied them together. As family members gathered, the joy was palpable, and everyone seemed to be enjoying the moment. Amelia moved from group to group, her heart swelling with pride as she watched her family interact and celebrate their shared history. Maximilian, ever the charming host, engaged in lively conversations, keeping the mood light and festive, all while keeping his secret hidden beneath a carefully constructed facade. Yet, beneath this cheerful exterior, an undercurrent of tension simmered, particularly between Amelia and Maximilian. Unbeknownst to the rest of the family, the atmosphere was charged with an impending revelation that would shatter the joyous occasion. As the night progressed, the excitement of the reunion would give way to a shocking truth that none could have anticipated, forever altering the dynamics of the family. What was meant to be a joyous celebration quickly spiraled into chaos when Amelia inadvertently stumbled upon undeniable proof of her husband's affair. As the evening unfolded, she decided to step away from the lively gathering to catch her breath and clear her mind. Wandering into a quiet corner of the hall, she noticed a discarded phone lying on a table, the screen still illuminated with messages that made her heart race. Curiosity piqued, she picked up the phone, and her stomach dropped as she scrolled through the messages exchanged between Maximilian and Clara. Each text revealed intimate details of their relationship, plans to meet, affectionate words, and even photos that confirmed the betrayal she had feared but never wanted to believe. The weight of the discovery crashed over her like a tidal wave, transforming her world in an instant. Overwhelmed with shock and hurt, Amelia's heart raced as she grappled with the reality of the situation. The joyous laughter and celebration in the main hall now felt distant, as her mind raced to process the depth of her husband's deceit. With undeniable proof in her hands, the atmosphere of the reunion shifted from one of happiness to one filled with impending confrontation, setting the stage for a heartbreaking showdown that would expose the truth to their unsuspecting family. As tension brewed around Amelia, the joyous atmosphere of the family reunion transformed into an unbearable weight pressing down on her heart. With the phone still clutched in her hand, she felt the ground beneath her shift, her reality shattering into a million pieces. Each message she read painted a vivid picture of her husband's betrayal, revealing a secret life she never knew existed. The intimacy shared between Maximilian and Clara was evident, and with every word, the disbelief turned into a cold, bitter anger. Her heart raced as she realized that what should have been a beautiful family gathering had morphed into a stage for her humiliation. Images of their children, playing happily in the background, clashed violently with the reality of her husband's deceit. Thoughts of how to confront him raced through her mind, but the fear of exposing the affair to their family held her back. The prospect of revealing such a scandal during what was supposed to be a joyful celebration felt like a betrayal of its own, yet the weight of her discovery demanded action. As she stood there, paralyzed by the realization of her husband's infidelity, the laughter and chatter from the main hall faded into a dull roar. Amelia felt an overwhelming sense of isolation wash over her, surrounded by family yet feeling utterly alone. This reunion, meant to strengthen family bonds, had become a painful reminder of her shattered trust and the facade of their seemingly perfect life. Determined to confront the truth, Amelia knew that the moment had come to address the betrayal that threatened to unravel everything she held dear. After discovering the affair, Amelia's demeanor underwent a dramatic transformation. The warmth that once radiated from her faded, replaced by a cold distance that left her family puzzled and concerned. She struggled to mask her emotions, her mind racing with betrayal and anger as she interacted with loved ones. Instead of joining in the laughter and light-hearted conversations, she found herself lost in thought, watching Maximilian from the corner of her eye, dissecting every smile and laugh he shared with others, particularly with Clara. The subtle changes in her behavior didn't go unnoticed. Family members exchanged glances, sensing that something was amiss. Amelia's responses grew curt and clipped, her laughter replaced by a tense silence that hung in the air like a storm cloud. She would often catch herself staring at Maximilian, scrutinizing his every move, searching for any sign of guilt or remorse. The trust she once placed in him eroded, replaced by suspicion that colored her perception of even the most mundane interactions. Anger simmered just beneath the surface, ready to explode at any moment. Amelia felt trapped in a whirlwind of conflicting emotions, hurt, rage, and a profound sense of loss. As the evening wore on, the joyful atmosphere of the reunion felt suffocating, each cheerful moment a painful reminder of the deceit lurking within her marriage. The tension grew thicker, and she knew that her next move could change everything, but the fear of confrontation held her captive, leaving her to wrestle with the turmoil of her shattered trust in silence. As the family reunion progressed, the once jovial atmosphere began to crack under the weight of Amelia's internal turmoil. Family members started to notice the subtle signs of trouble between her and Maximilian. The couple, once seen as the perfect pair, now engaged in hushed conversations that often ended in awkward silences. Friends and relatives exchanged concerned glances, sensing the shift but unaware of the dark secret lurking beneath the surface. During a game meant to foster laughter and bonding, Amelia's forced smiles felt hollow. She would catch Maximilian's gaze lingering too long on Clara, igniting a fire of anger within her that she struggled to contain. When she confronted him about it, their whispered arguments became a backdrop to the festivities, each sharp word a reminder that their relationship had become strained. The laughter around them felt out of place, as if it were mocking their crumbling facade. As the evening wore on, the tension escalated. Family members began to withdraw from the couple, sensing an unspoken rift. Amelia's family, usually so warm and inviting, felt the chill that now enveloped her and Maximilian. Awkward pauses replaced joyful chatter, and the game that once sparked fun now felt like a chore. Each hushed whisper and strained laugh only deepened the mystery, leaving the family puzzled but unaware of the true reason behind the couple's unsettling change in dynamic. Amelia felt increasingly isolated, trapped in a reality where the truth was just waiting to explode, and her carefully crafted facade began to crumble under the pressure. As the night progressed, Amelia's mind raced with a mix of paranoia and betrayal. Each interaction with Maximilian felt like a puzzle piece clicking into place, revealing a picture she had been too blind to see before. The little signs she had previously dismissed now loomed large in her memory. His late nights at work, the secretive phone calls, and the way he had suddenly changed his routine. What she once thought were harmless quirks now seemed like deliberate attempts to hide the truth. The more she reflected on their past, the more obvious the clues became. Moments that had once seemed innocuous now felt like glaring red flags. She remembered instances when Maximilian seemed distracted during family events, his mind clearly elsewhere, and the unexplained gifts he had brought home, supposedly from work. Those sweet gestures that once filled her with joy now turned bitter in her throat, tainted by the realization that they were likely meant to placate her suspicions rather than express genuine affection. Amelia's paranoia tightened its grip as she replayed the past in her mind. Each memory felt like a betrayal, intensifying the pain she already felt. The realization that the affair had been going on longer than she had imagined clawed at her insides. She felt a surge of anger and sadness as she considered all the moments she had cherished, now overshadowed by the looming betrayal. It became clear that this was not just a fleeting mistake, but a full-blown deception that threatened to unravel everything she thought she knew about her husband and their marriage. The weight of this knowledge bore down on her, making it harder to breathe as she grappled with the enormity of the truth. As the evening wore on, the tension in the air became almost unbearable for Amelia. Every forced smile and strained laugh only served to amplify her frustration and despair. Finally, overwhelmed by a mix of hurt and rage, she could no longer contain the truth that had been festering inside her. With her heart pounding and adrenaline coursing through her veins, she stood up from her seat at the long dining table, drawing the attention of everyone in the room. "Maximilian," she called out, her voice steady yet laced with emotion. The cheerful chatter abruptly halted, and a heavy silence enveloped the gathering. Family members turned to watch, eyes wide with curiosity and concern, sensing that something monumental was about to unfold. "I know about the affair," she declared, her words slicing through the tension like a knife. Gasps echoed around the room as shock painted the faces of their family. With the eyes of her relatives fixed on her, Amelia took a deep breath, summoning every ounce of courage she had left. "You've been lying to me," she continued, locking eyes with Maximilian, who sat frozen in disbelief. "You've been sneaking around with Clara, your high school crush, while pretending everything was fine." The revelation hung in the air, heavy with the weight of betrayal. Whispers began to ripple through the family as the reality of the situation sank in, and the facade of their picture-perfect lives crumbled before everyone's eyes. Amelia felt a mix of vindication and heartbreak as the truth spilled out, forever changing the dynamics of their family reunion and leaving her husband exposed for the world to see. Maximilian's expression morphed from shock to disbelief as Amelia's words registered. "What are you talking about?" he blurted out, his voice shaky. The sudden spotlight on him felt suffocating, and he attempted to dismiss her accusations with a wave of his hand. "This is absurd. You're making a scene," he protested, trying to regain control of the narrative. But his denial only fueled the fire, and the room buzzed with whispers as family members exchanged incredulous glances. As Amelia stood her ground, her heart racing, she could see the cracks in his facade begin to form. She watched as confusion shifted to guilt, his bravado fading under the weight of the truth. Family members leaned in, straining to hear the unfolding drama, and the air thickened with tension. "You think I don't know about your late-night texts and the dinners you claimed were work-related?" she pressed, her voice rising with each word. "I've seen the way you look at her." Maximilian's silence spoke volumes as the weight of the accusations pressed down on him. He shifted uncomfortably in his seat, his gaze flickering between Amelia and their family. The denial that had once come so easily now felt hollow, and finally, the truth slipped from his lips like a reluctant confession. Okay, it's true," he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. The room collectively gasped, the reality settling over everyone like a cold blanket. Amelia's heart shattered anew as she watched her husband, once her partner, crumble under the enormity of their shattered lives. The truth was now out in the open, and the air was charged with a mix of disbelief, sympathy, and the impending fallout of betrayal. Gasps echoed throughout the room as Amelia's revelation sank in, leaving family members in stunned silence. The jovial atmosphere of the reunion shifted dramatically, replaced by an electric tension that felt almost palpable. Faces that were once filled with laughter and warmth now displayed a mix of shock and discomfort. Whispers erupted as relatives exchanged incredulous looks, struggling to comprehend the gravity of what had just unfolded. In the midst of the chaos, accusations began to fly. "How could you do this to her?" one cousin exclaimed, pointing an accusatory finger at Maximilian. Others joined in, their voices rising in outrage, demanding explanations and expressing their disbelief. The air grew thick with emotion as anger and betrayal bubbled to the surface. Amelia stood at the center of it all, feeling both exposed and empowered, while her husband fumbled for words, his previous confidence completely stripped away. As the confrontation escalated, long-hidden grievances and family tension surfaced, each family member revealing their own frustrations and disappointments. Secrets that had lingered in the shadows came to light, complicating an already volatile situation. The initial shock of Maximilian's affair morphed into a family dispute, with voices overlapping in a chaotic symphony of hurt and anger. Amelia could only watch as the fallout unfolded, realizing that this family reunion had transformed into a battleground of emotions, one that would forever change the dynamics of their family. As the reality of Maximilian's affair settled in, the family quickly divided into factions, creating an uncomfortable tension that filled the air. Some relatives rushed to defend Maximilian, claiming that Amelia was overreacting and urging her to reconsider the consequences of her accusations. "Everyone makes mistakes," one of his cousins remarked, attempting to downplay the situation while visibly uncomfortable. They argued that Maximilian had always been a good husband and father, insisting that a momentary lapse shouldn't define him. On the other hand, Amelia found unwavering support from several family members who empathized with her pain. "You deserve better, Amelia," her sister shouted, stepping forward to confront those defending Maximilian. Others joined in, expressing their disbelief and anger at Maximilian's betrayal. The room echoed with voices of solidarity for Amelia, as relatives shared their own stories of heartbreak and infidelity, creating an atmosphere of shared trauma. This support provided Amelia with a sense of strength amidst the chaos, though it was bittersweet as the rift in the family deepened. As discussions heated, long-standing family tensions surfaced, exacerbating the division. Cousins and aunts began to reveal grievances they had buried for years, blaming each other for the family's dysfunction. Accusations of favoritism, jealousy, and unresolved issues spilled out, turning the reunion into a platform for airing grievances beyond the affair. The emotional fallout left everyone on edge, knowing that the bonds they had once shared were now irrevocably altered. Amelia could see the fractures forming, and as she stood amidst the turmoil, she realized that the exposure of her husband's affair had unleashed a storm that would leave lasting scars on their family. As word of Maximilian's affair spread throughout the community, it quickly became a hot topic among neighbors and friends. What was initially a private family matter morphed into gossip that echoed in local cafes and grocery stores, shattering Maximilian's reputation. People whispered behind his back, sharing their shock and disbelief over a man they once regarded as a pillar of the community. The fallout left him feeling isolated and vulnerable, as even acquaintances began to distance themselves, unsure of how to respond to the scandal. Further digging into the affair revealed shocking details that painted a much darker picture of the couple's marriage. Amelia discovered that Maximilian had not only rekindled his romance with his high school crush, Isabella, but that their relationship had been ongoing for several years, hidden beneath layers of deceit. Text messages, social media interactions, and secret meetings came to light, unraveling the facade of a happy marriage. As the truth emerged, Amelia realized that the life she thought they had built together was a carefully constructed illusion, one that left her feeling betrayed and heartbroken. The revelation of this long-standing affair prompted a wave of discussions about trust, loyalty, and the fragile nature of relationships within the community. Friends and neighbors began to reflect on their own marriages, questioning the authenticity of their relationships. Some couples found themselves reevaluating their bonds, while others felt a newfound sense of vigilance, wary of hidden secrets lurking beneath the surface. The community's perception of love and fidelity shifted, forever marked by the shocking betrayal that unfolded at the family reunion. Amelia, now thrust into the public eye, became a symbol of resilience, a reminder that even in the face of devastating betrayal, one can find strength and support in unexpected places. Amelia, fueled by a mix of anger and heartbreak, tracks down Isabella at the family reunion, determined to confront the woman who has shattered her life. The atmosphere around them grows thick with tension as they stand face to face, the weight of unspoken words hanging heavily in the air. Tempers flare as Amelia demands answers, her voice quivering with emotion. Accusations fly, each woman defending her position. Amelia blames Isabella for reigniting a past romance, while Isabella deflects responsibility, insisting that Maximilian had pursued her, reigniting feelings that she thought were long buried. As the confrontation escalates, Isabella reveals her side of the story, complicating the already tangled narrative. She admits that she had no idea Maximilian was still married, or that their relationship was ongoing. In her eyes, she sees herself as a victim of his deceit as much as Amelia does. Both women express their feelings of betrayal, grappling with the reality that they have both been manipulated by the same man, who played them against each other for his own selfish desires. Their anger turns into a shared understanding, albeit a fragile one, as they realize that the true enemy lies in Maximilian's duplicity. Meanwhile, the reunion's atmosphere deteriorates, turning hostile as family members overhear the confrontation. Tensions rise as accusations and heated discussions ripple through the gathering. Some family members take sides, with a few defending Isabella, believing she was wronged, while others support Amelia, empathizing with her pain. Old family feuds resurface, and whispers of betrayal, mistrust, and division fill the air, shattering the joyful celebration into chaos. What was once a festive occasion transforms into a battleground of emotions, with everyone feeling the repercussions of Maximilian's actions, leaving the family dynamics forever altered. In the aftermath of the explosive revelation, discussions about separation and divorce become inevitable for Amelia and Maximilian. The couple finds themselves entangled in legal battles over finances, custody of their children, and the damage to their reputations. Amelia is determined to protect her family, while Maximilian faces the reality of losing everything he once held dear. Maximilian's betrayal comes with severe consequences, unraveling both his personal and professional life. His once respected reputation in the community is tarnished, and he faces backlash from friends and family who feel betrayed by his actions. As his marriage crumbles, he grapples with feelings of guilt and shame, realizing the full extent of his choices. Meanwhile, Clara, his high school crush, must navigate the fallout of the scandal as well. She faces scrutiny from the community and struggles with her role in the affair. The once carefree reunion has transformed into a painful reminder of the consequences of betrayal, leaving both women to reassess their lives and futures, forever marked by the turmoil that erupted from Maximilian's secret. The affair leaves deep scars that take a long time to heal. Amelia embarks on a challenging journey of recovery, trying to rebuild her life and regain her sense of self after the betrayal. Despite the support from some family members and friends, the emotional wounds linger, and trust is difficult to rebuild. Meanwhile, Maximilian grapples with the fallout of his actions, facing social ostracism and a tarnished reputation. The consequences of his choices ripple through the family, causing rifts that may never fully mend. In the wider community of Barcelona, the scandal casts a long shadow. The incident becomes a topic of gossip, with the family's name forever associated with betrayal and heartbreak. Residents recall the events with a mix of disbelief and sympathy, marking it as a cautionary tale about the dangers of infidelity and the fragile nature of relationships. As the years pass, the story remains a haunting memory for those involved, serving as a reminder of how quickly love can turn to betrayal. This case illustrates how one secret, exposed at the most inopportune moment, can shatter lives and relationships. Betrayal and deception, when left unaddressed, have the power to dismantle the very foundations of trust and love that we hold dear. If you found this story thought-provoking, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the circumstances surrounding this affair? Do you believe there is ever an appropriate time to reveal such devastating secrets? Your insights are important to us, and we appreciate your engagement with our content. This case illustrates how one secret, exposed at the most inopportune moment, can shatter lives and relationships. Betrayal and deception, when left unaddressed, have the power to dismantle the very foundations of trust and love that we hold dear. If you found this story thought-provoking, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the circumstances surrounding this affair? Do you believe there is ever an appropriate time to reveal such devastating secrets? Your insights are important to us, and we appreciate your engagement with our content.